Tobi Lütke never wanted to be CEO of Shopify. He was not the first CEO of the company. When the first CEO left, Tobi set out to replace him. He knew nothing about what a CEO did. From these humble beginnings, Tobi now leads a 10,000-person market leader, and he is arguably one of the best CEOs in the tech world. In this video, Tobi talks with me about how he learned the CEO role, starting from absolute ignorance. Key things to listen for in this video. First of all, leaning into his strengths. He takes an engineering approach to this role. Second, studying history, in particular biographies. Third, not doing what everyone else does. If you want extraordinary results, you can't follow convention. If you're a technical CEO in particular, I think you will love listening to Tobi here about how he learned to be a limitless CEO. Let's listen to Tobi.
You were not the original CEO. You didn't necessarily want to be CEO. You'll bristle to hear this, but you're obviously and mathematically and objectively the most successful tech CEO in Canada. And just would love to unpack how you taught yourself to be that CEO. And, I quote you all the time to my clients about how you talk about having to re-qualify for your job every year. But I'm wondering just how specifically you did that, especially because, in my brief time with you, one of my observations was that you bristle at convention. If someone's to say, oh, this is the way you do it, you would almost be like, well, then I'm not going to do it. You're going to have to prove to me that that's the way to do it. So I don't think it's as simple as following people and doing what they do. So I'm just curious how you did it.
Yeah, I reflexively just take Bavasip. Yeah, but I wonder if that's actually, that's definitely important for my story, but I don't know if it's important for, I think there's many, many different ways there. I love computers. I love working with them. I want to be CTO of a company. I frankly, sometimes I feel like I still want to. Me and my co-founder split the company just so, right? Scott do the business. I do the tech. When Scott left, 2008, I think, 7. I was trying to find a CEO and then just sort of got to talk. I wanted to ask them smart questions. So I'm like, okay, well, what does a CEO actually do? So back then there weren't podcasts like yours or any of these things. And, I started with books and read them. But this is how I learn things in technology too, right? It's figure out who knows something and then figure out what they learned, or at least how they explained their success, right? I tend to find biographies better because because I find it extremely hard to learn anything outside of a context in which it was discovered. And they also usually give you sort of what did the person know when they made their most important life decisions at the point when they were made, right? Because you get it sort of laid out in sequence. And so I've kind of made a study out of this type of decision making, and maybe this is a bit also the engineer in me. I just don't like arguing by analogy. Just because something is another version of that, I just don't think that makes. I don't think that has anything terribly interesting to say. The world is pretty mid in terms of quality. I really don't think the really remarkable things we can all list. It's the Golden Gate Bridge and Rome, and humanity has sometimes decided to make unbelievably great, beautiful things, but that was a very, very specific times, and most of the time we don't. So I don't know why people think doing something like everyone else is such a good idea. If fundamentally, the reason why I left, struck out on my own and wanted to start a company is because I want to do something world class, right? If you want to do something world class, axiomatically, you can't make it the way everyone else does, because otherwise you get the same thing.
Like everybody else.
So I think there should be a healthy skepticism of what everyone doing the same thing. And it is really, really a fun practice to be able to argue from ideally very few axioms why a certain thing works, which leads you in the world of companies very quickly to economics, very quickly to statistics, very quickly to social studies, to psychology, really, and also philosophy. It's entrepreneurship is a very applied version of basically all of the sciences to a degree that just makes it which is why it's so fun.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Startup CEO Show. If you'd like to connect with me, be sure to visit my website at markmacleod.me, or follow me on LinkedIn at @themarkmacleod, or Twitter at @markmacleod_. And if you want to tune in again next week, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time.